Good day everyone! Welcome to my video presentation. Before I start my discussion, let me first introduce myself to you. By the way, I am Joan T. Gamayan from BSA 2 and I am from Group 7. So today, let me discuss or impart knowledge to you about CARPER and the future of agrarian reform in the Philippines. So, let's start. So, presenting here in my first slide of my video presentation is the CARP. So, maybe you're wondering why CARP is included in my video presentation. So, let me explain to you about that. So, CARP is included in my video presentation because we will never fully understand what is a CARPER if we'll not tackle first about CARP, since these two is very related ra silang duha. So, let me first discuss to you about CARP first before we'll proceed to CARPER, okay? Para mas makasabot ta og unsa ang CARPER. So, let's start. So, what is CARP or unsa man ang CARP? So, obviously, it is only an acronym. So, CARP or the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program is a land reform law of the Philippines that was enacted in 1988 by President Corazon Aquino. So, ang CARP kano is a land reform law. So, when we say land reform, it involves changing of laws, mga pag-usog sa mga regulations, mga customs regarding land ownership or ang pagpanag-iya sa yuta. So, we can't deny the fact nga ang pag-distribute sa mga yuta sa una palang daan is unfair na. So, this law has its own aim since laws or mga balaod is dili na siya ma-enact if wala siya kanang purpose o walay aim. So, the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program aims to redistribute private and public agricultural lands to help the beneficiaries survive as small independent farmers regardless of the tenurial arrangement. So, ang aim niya is to redistribute lands to landless farmers, mga farmers nga walay land, obviously. So, this law gives farmers an opportunity for a dignified quality of life. This law also serves as a solution for the kanang problem of unfair distribution of resources, just like what I've said earlier. So, ang CARP is nagtabang siya sa mga kanang underprivileged bitaw nga mga farmers nga wala nahatagan og igo nga mga resources or land in particular. So, the legal basis of the CARP is the Republic Act number 6657, or also known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law, or CARL. So, it was stated here in my presentation, or the PowerPoint presentation, the RA 6657. So, mo na legal basis sa CARP. To fully understand the essence of CARP, so is the re-evaluation or the redistribution of wealth so that the landless farmers can have access to capital resources to promote their welfare. So we can see that the center of the CARP or the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or law is the farmer's good. So its aim is to give them a better life by giving them their own land nga makatabang nila for their everyday living nga makahatag nila many opportunities, mga job opportunities in particular. So we have here the background of the CARP. So the agrarian reform is part of the very long history of attempts to land reform in the Philippines. The law was outlined by former President Corazon C. Aquino, just like what I've said earlier, through Presidential Proclamation 131 and Executive Order 229 on June 22, 1987. And it was enacted by the 8th Congress of the Philippines and signed by Aquino on June 10, 1988. So that's all for the CARP, and I hope that through giving you a bird's eye view about what CARP is, you understand truly what it is. So much for that. Let me now move on to the CARPER, which is my main topic. So what is CARPER? So it was stated here that the new deadline of CARP expired in 2008, leaving 1.2 million farmer beneficiaries and 1.6 million hectares of agricultural land to be distributed to farmers. So imagine the law CARP was enacted in 1988 and up until 2008, wa pa gihapon na human upang distribute. The government was never done distributing to farmers their lands. So, to solve this problem, in 2009, President Arroyo signed Republic Act 9700, or the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program Extension with Reforms, or the CARPER, the mandatory law that extended the deadline to 5 more years. So, ani na musod si CARPER. So, ang CARPER kano is a mandatory law nga nagpa-extend sa deadline sa pagpanghatag og yuta to the farmers. So, this law was enacted on 2009 plus 5 more years. So, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So, 2014, that was the deadliest deadline sa pagpanghatag, sa pagpang-distribute of wealth or land in particular. I hope that it's crystal clear for you that CARP is the law and the CARPER is the extension of that law. So showing here is the next slide, which is the benefits of CARPER law to farmers. So pare-pareha ni sila sa CARP. Since extension naman ng CARPER. So first benefit is the landowners equality in terms of income and opportunity. So of course, there's the equality, just like what I've mentioned earlier, that land reform is the changing of laws. So ang naka-abide ato nga equal na og rights ang mga landowners. So wala nay pihig-pihig or bias or whatsoever. So second benefit is the empowering landowner beneficiaries to have equitable land ownership. So third is the enhancing agricultural production and productivity. So by giving them the land they deserve, syempre ma-enhance gyud ang productivity in terms of agricultural fields. So providing employment to more agricultural workers. Of course, if there is a big land, daghan gyud ang job opportunities, especially that agriculture is very big in the Philippines, as we all know. So last benefit is the putting an end to conflicts regarding land ownership. So of course, mabutangan na gyud og kanang end ang mga conflicts or mga problems regarding land ownership, because it was abided in the law nga i-change ang mga rights, mga regulations, or mga customs about regarding land ownership. So of course wala na yung mga conflicts or problems nga mo occur ana since na may law about ana. So showing here is the next slide, which shows the section 30 of the CARPER law. So section 30 mandates that any case and or proceeding involves the implementation of the provisions of CARP as amended, which may remain pending on 30 June 2014 shall be allowed to proceed to its finality and executed even beyond such date. So, diba, it was stated that 2014 or June 30, 2014 was the last day of the effectivity of the CARPER law. But Section 30 said the Department of Agrarian Reform assured farmers that even June 30, 2014 comes, of course, lagi umabot na June 30, 2014, the distribution of land will never stop. Mo ni gipasagot sa Section 30 of the CARPER law. So I hope it's clear for you kung unsa ang naa sa Section 30 sa CARPER law. So now let us move on to the significant information about significant information nga narapod sa CARPER. So from 2009 to 2013, the CARPER has distributed a total of 1 million hectares of land to 900,000 farmer beneficiaries. So after 27 years of land reform and 2 Aquino administrations, 500,000 hectares of lands remain undistributed. Showing you here the pictures of those farmers or people that have received their lands, so it's very nice to see or to hear that there's this law providing people their own land. So ato ang balikan ang naa sa mga previous slides which shows nga pag expire sa CARP nga law pag 2008, nag-leave siya og 1.2 million farmer beneficiaries nga wala nahatagan og yuta and 1.6 million hectares of agricultural land nga wa pa pud nahatag sa mga farmers. So as it was stated here in the significant information slide, from 2009 to 2014, ang nahatag ra sa CARPER is 1 million hectares of land sa 900,000 farmer beneficiaries. So, obviously, naagihapon ang ay yuta nga wala mahatag o nagyapoy mga farmers nga wala mahatagi. So, nang stated here nga, after 27 years of land reform and 2 Aquino administrations, 500,000 hectares of lands remain undistributed. Showing you here the logos of the two agencies, which is the DAR and the DENRs. DAR stands for Department of Agrarian Reform and DNR Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So the DAR and DNR are the government agencies mandated to fulfill CARP and CARPER. But even the combined effort and resources of the two agencies, they have proved incapable of fully achieving the goal of agrarian reform in the Philippines. So bisan pag combined power na, combined effort na ang gibuhat sa DAR and DENR, they have failed to fulfill the mission of CARP and CARPER law. So the same problems have plagued its implementation: the powerful landed elite and the ineffectual bureaucracy of the Philippine government. Until these two challenges are surmounted, genuine agrarian reform in the Philippines remains but a dream to Filipino farmers who have been fighting for the right to land ownership for centuries. And it's very sad to hear that the law CARP was enacted years ago, year 1988, and niabot na lang ang deadline pag 2008, and there the CARPER was enacted again 2009 to 2014, but until such time wala gihapon sila na-feel gihapon ang mission sa CARP and CARPER law. They are still people or farmers that protest even until now nganong questioning the government asara ang land that's supposedly to be given to them, nawa rag pinakalit o kanang nganong wala na hatagan tanan fair. So truly we have I can conclude that the CARP and CARPER law is a very beneficial law and very amusing siya kay manghatag siya opportunities for the farmer. But unfortunately, it's a very disappointing or very sad to hear pod that not all farmers are given the chance or not given the land that they deserve. So mo nang daghan gihapong mag-protest until now, and it still shows the unfair distribution of land. Imbis kay ang law is serve siya nga solution sa mga farmers sa kanang to improve their life, to have their better life or the opportunities, pero dili tanang farmers nahatagan or dili tanang tawo nahatagan. That's all for my presentation or video presentation, which is about the CARPER and the future of agrarian reform in the Philippines. And I hope you have gained knowledge about this, or you have naka-gain mo og mga important details about this topic. So once again, I am Joanne T. Gamayan, and this is all for today's presentation. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.